Hey everybody, One Wisdom here, back part 123 of our Skylanders Giants Blind playthrough. Part 121 we started in our upgrades of the Giants, doing it alphabetically by element, knocked Swarm out there. Part 122 we took regular old Crusher down Rubble Master. In the poll right now, I think 69 votes was it? Rubble Master had 29, Rock Grinder had 40, so plus 11 in favor of Rock Grinder. That is actually what we're going to take Granite Crusher down here, so getting back out. Here's a look at Granite Crusher. Again, he does have the future hat on. I would take it off, but if you watched the last video, the game apparently doesn't like it when I take hats off, so we'll leave it at that. There's a pretty good look at him. Again, you can kind of see the Earth Element logo. He's black and blue, one of my personal favorite color combos. There he is from the back. Pay attention to his hammer. It's going to change when we do Rock Grinder. So let's go ahead and come in here.
Wow, those are big numbers.
Take a look at his stats. His armor's 33. That's because he's got a little better base stats. If you recall, Bedrock armor took Crusher from 27 to 67, so I think he was like plus 6 armor. I think critical hit was a little higher too, but we'll actually back out. I'm going to show you the upgrades. You basically know this if you watch part 122. Got the base upgrades there. Rubble Master is what we used for Crusher. You've got the controlled rock slide. Basically, the way I look at it, it just means you can go left when you come out of the rock slide, not necessarily dictate where the boulders go. Then you can detonate the boulders, however you have to do that before he reassembles himself. And then lastly, the bedrock armor, which again, I know most people would think I'd take the special character Granite Crusher to get the plus 40 armor. However, I'm not a fan of gold. I think it would have looked horrible on the black of Granite Crusher, so stuck it on Crusher. Don't think it looks great on him, but it wasn't horrible, so call it good there, I guess. The Soul Gem's pretty sweet, rock sliding out. You can really control that. Obviously, if we had enemies, I think we could chase them around. That's really, to me, when the perk of having the ability to detonate things comes into play. This upgrade I really don't like. I wish they would have added something like past Cave Light Blast right here. That would have made this path really, really good in my opinion. That said, what we're going to do with Granite Crusher is take him down Rock Grinder. It's his top path here. He kind of addresses his primary attack, the hammer. Begins with the Crusher combos. Press AA, hold B for the hammer throw, AA and Z for a 360 spin. Sometimes the combos, depending on the character, they're either hard to execute just in terms of like literally doing them, I mean just on the deck of the ship even, or you inadvertently do them, kind of like with Stealth Elf if you're trying to speed run and stuff. But both of these sound pretty cool, and if that hammer throw has good range, that'll be a very, very nice addition to his regimen here. Next one, Hammer Daddy. The hammer takes the face of Crusher's father. It's a nice backstory, but really what we care about is it does increase damage. So again, I kind of like the look of it as is. It gets changed right here. You can kind of see the spike. It almost looks like steel plate, like something you'd expect to see like a medieval castle or something. It'll be interesting to see if that keeps the spike or does away with it. And then the other thing, you've got triple ground grinder. Hold A to hit the ground and make 3 cracks appear to damage enemies. So we'll check all those out, but we're going to come in here to Persephone first. Obviously we have to buy them before we can do that. So, note that his blast is actually green. I was kind of disappointed in that. I think I mentioned it when we first started playing with him. Would have been killer if it was blue. Kind of like they did that with Shroom Boo, made the mushrooms light up green.
Ready for another magical upgrade?
Light core Shroom Boo, anyway. Come in here. His first upgrade, Ground Grinder, obviously. Hold A you hit the ground so hard it makes a crack in the ground that damages enemies. I'm basically going to do what we did with Crusher. I'll buy these 4 base upgrades, then we'll showcase them to you all at the same time, come back in, do the path. So this one alone would make his personal heroic challenge box stock a little more bearable, but it's one of those deals. That's a bad match for him box stock. Rock slide, press Z to break apart into boulders running over anything in their path. Cost is 420. Again, just to recap, I know you're probably tired of hearing it in the event that you're only watching Granite Crusher or something. It costs 8,520 to fully upgrade a giant. That is when you've got the 20 wing sapphires. If you don't have the 20 wing sapphires, find them. It'll save you time and money. So, Super Crusher's up next. Hammer does increase damage. Cost 540.
Rock on.
You can see there it changed aesthetically. Would have been sweet if they kind of like incorporated more of the color scheme there. Lastly, before we get to the soul gem in the path anyway, we have Cave Light Blast. While holding B, press A to launch a pulse of energy that damages enemies. Cost is 720. And right here, again, if you're just upgrading and you're freaking out because you don't want to commit to a path, and bear in mind with the Giants and Newlanders, you will be locked into that path you select. Your only way around that is to reset the character. So you can hit the B button and back out. The only flip side is you have to watch a stupid cutscene, but when you do select a path. Again, we took Crusher down Rubble Master in part 122. So what we're going to do here for Granite Crusher to avoid the gold armor and see, I think it seems a little cooler, maybe more practical, particularly given how good the soul gem is. We're going to take him down Rock Grinder, further develop your hammer attacks.
Rocket.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead back out here just so you can kind of get a feel for everything. There's the new hammer. That's what it looks like, this base attack. When you hold the A button down, just a second, you can send that blade gear. It has really good range. There's the energy. There it is pulsing. You can get basically 3 pulses per round of that. That's pretty much it. I always forget the boulders. Press the Z. Well, that's kind of cool. They did at least keep that black. Again, you can't control it just yet or detonate it, but I mean, it's not a bad thing to have to mix in with, what'll be these hammer upgrades.
Welcome back.
Anyway, we're gonna upgrade, and we'll begin here with Crusher combos. I guess you could say it's hammer time. But AAB is the throw and AAZ is the spin. Cost 1020. I think this is going to be pretty awesome, assuming they execute well. It's really going to be hard to execute anything in here that you can see well, but we're going to try. Okay, if that was the throw, it was kind of disappointing. Yeah,
Crushing it.
There's the spin. I mean, that's kind of a pain to execute, but I can tell you right now, it's probably going to do ridiculous damage. So, it's one of those things that, if you're really getting pounded by enemies, there's like a ton of them, or maybe Shadow Knights in the Nightmare mode or something. That's when you're going to be button smashing, and you might inadvertently execute the combo, and it would be a really good thing. So we'll kind of keep it on the positive side here. But next up is Hammer Daddy. Again, I told you to pay close attention to the hammer. This is where it takes the face of Crusher's father and does increased damage. Cost is 1320.
Rock on.
Okay, so it did keep the spike. Looks pretty freaking awesome. Okay, let's see if we can get a combo like this. Okay, that was the throw, and I wasn't even pressing the B button at all. My hand isn't even on it. Trying to get the spin.
Lower the phone.
There we go. Anyway, you get the idea. You know, it's one of those things, you'll see it in game, and I think you'll probably appreciate it more anyway. So. Last upgrade here is going to be Triple Ground Grinder. Hold A to hit the ground and make 3 cracks appear to damage enemies. Cost 1,800. Note the spikes on the sides as well. We're just going to demo that on the deck. There's no point in doing it here. Lastly, we get the Soul Gem, which in my opinion, if you're torn between the two and armor isn't a big deal to you, the fact that the Soul Gem lets you control the rock slide, I would probably personally use that to justify the top path if I was torn, and again, the armor wasn't a big deal. Personally, if I just had one crusher, I would think that the top path would probably be a little better, but I'm a sucker for the armor, and I'd probably go that route. But anyway, the Soul Gem is very cool. In particularly, you know, if you do take the top path, it adds a lot of dynamic to it. So hold Z to steer the rock slide boulders. Obviously, there's a little bit more benefit to that if you go down Rubble Master. Particularly, you know, that you can just detonate the boulders. But there's a good look at the hammer there. Note again the spike on the side and the top. We're going to come back over here. We'll start with the energy beam.
Right on.
Again, pretty much you got the feel for that. I really wish that was blue. The good news is when you do the you know, rock slide, it's actually black and blue, which makes you wonder why they didn't do, you know, the cave light blast black or blue. You know, it would have looked incredibly cool. We're actually going to try the Soul Beam now. I'm going to hold Z, and I mean you can just roll around, so we would be pounding enemies. Again, the thing for me is going to be, you know, can enemies damage me when I do that? If they can't, that's going to be really, really handy. It's actually fairly quick too. There's the hammer pound basic. Let's see if we can do the combo here for you. Try to do the AAB. See. Okay, so that was the hammer throw, and while it's not what I expected, I was picturing him like chunking the hammer 20 feet, you know. It looks like he just kind of loads up and just drops the boom, if you will. But based on the sound, I'm thinking that's going to do ridiculous damage. And now I'll try to do the 360 spin for you, which is AAZ. That was the throw. Again, I didn't even have my finger on the B button. There was the spin. I think both of those are going to be really, really good. Again, they're somewhat hard to execute. I don't know why. Some characters you can do the combos at will, others they're a pain to do. I think in part with Crusher it's because it takes so long to do the AA portion of the combo. But I think both of those are going to do incredible damage. Showed you that. Now really what's left is the triple rock grinder, so it's hard to position him like I want. If you recall, the rock grinder, it just shoots straight, basically covers the entire screen. You're going to hold A, and there you saw it basically makes like a reverse in from the point of impact, or raptor track, whatever you want to call it. Guy can't. I'm trying to turn him around as close to the back of the ship as I can, and it's just not working. You get the idea. It's pretty sweet. So between that and then the combos you can execute, you know, I think it'll come in fairly handy. So it's one of those things you're really gonna have to see him like in gameplay to get a good feel for him. But again, you can control this. Don't have the detonation abilities or anything, but I think it'll come in handy. So hammer is okay. I kind of like the beginning one. I guess since it's his father, he kind of looks like Mayan or something. Kind of neat, I guess. But main thing is he doesn't have the gold armor. That just would have like killed the black and blue look for me. I can live with the hammer better than that. But again, basically what we get down Rock Grinder is the triple grinders, the AAB hammer throw combo, the AAZ 360 spin, and then just the you know, hammer being upgraded again, deal more damage, look like his dad, etc. Since we have some time, we're gonna pull Granite Crusher, and put Crusher on.
It's Crush Hour.
Note the hammer is different. It's just the super hammer, not the super crusher hammer. The bedrock armor doesn't look as bad now as it did when we first upgraded it. I know that was just like 10 minutes ago. But, essentially the difference here is that when we go into the rock slide, we can control it and press the A button and they blow up. That's really kind of it in terms of the differences. Again, that first one, you just kind of, you know, it can like wind up over here and release. So, I wonder if you can go upstairs since we have some time. Or which one it is.
Alright.
Okay, well, kinda. I mean, if you practice it enough, you could probably pull it off, but I've got like 30 seconds with it. So, again, he just has the single blade gear since he went down Rubble Master. But again, the main thing is he's got plus 40 armor, which is a pretty big deal. Kind of have to pick your poison. Really, if they would have added something else to go with the Cave Light Blast, I would be inclined to say the bottom path is better. That said, I think the top path, Rock Grinder, I would have to agree with the poll results. I think initially here anyway, it would be the better path. However, if the damage you can do from the explosions, it doesn't look like that'll do a ton of damage, just in all honesty. If it was concentrated maybe. But the bedrock armor is really going to be the deciding factor for most people. You either want the armor or you want, you know, the overall better path. That's that. We're at the 17-minute mark. Let's yank Crusher here. Go back with the Granite Crusher.
It's Crush Hour.
Tempted to do a heroic. I don't want to make that like a routine because sometimes it takes the full video to showcase everything. Again, that's basically our differences there with Crusher and Granite Crusher. Crusher went down Rubble Master. Granite Crusher went down Rock Grinder. If you took away, I don't know, one portion of the top path and added the armor, it would be hands down the way to go in my opinion. In part because of the soul gem. You know, whenever we did the hammer path, you know, combos and increased damage and everything, and then I can still do this because it's the soul gem. That to me is really the deciding factor. And I mean, really, you see there, he can actually go in too. I mean, so really it comes down to bedrock armor. You want it or you don't. And then you know, if you decide the armor is a big deal, your perk is while you're in the rock slide you can press A and detonate. Again, I don't envision that doing a lot of damage, but you know, it is a nice perk. So that is that. Part 122, we upgraded Crusher 123, which is right here. Right now we upgraded Granite Crusher. Something we'll have to use in game. I mean, if that little explosion from the rock slide like does crazy damage, even like 36 a piece or something, that'll change my impression of it. However, I'm thinking it's probably going to be like something like 7 to 14ish, maybe. The big issue again, say you've got like 3 or 4 trolls, I mean, you might like make contact with one of them. It wasn't a big explosion, it wasn't concentrated. Again, really, in all honesty, it comes down to how much do you value armor. If it's not a big deal, I would advise, like the people that voted on the poll, you go with Rock Grinder. If the armor is a big deal to you, I would suggest you go with Rubble Master. Spend some time kind of like you did with Bash, mastering, the rock slide and everything, and then just enjoy the ability to detonate everything. So, again, kind of pick your poison. How much does the armor mean to you is really going to be the deciding factor on those two paths, in my opinion. So, got Swarm and 121, these two guys, 22 and 23. Part 124, I guess we will cover Hothead. I do have a new Hothead in the packaging. It was basically a deal. I bought it, and I just ordered it, and I couldn't cancel the order, and I didn't know until I got home. That's why I have him, But, he is not ready to, he's done nothing. I put him in the game right before I recorded Swarm to pick up some money from the ship. He's got like, what, 350 now or something. I may just come in and pick one path, or I'll probably shower now and then come back out, maybe get enough money so we can just do both of them and I won't have to sit there and stress about it or something. But I'll probably go ahead tonight and record Hothead or both Hotheads. And then since I do have two Tree Rexes, I think they're both ready to go. Actually, I think I took one Tree Rex, bought his base upgrades actually to kind of see what they were like. So yeah, we'll probably do those two for sure. And then Genie, Thump Back and Eyebrow, might have to like buy their base upgrades and decide from there. I know I probably should have actually probably come in and taken the 4 I don't have 2 of, bought their base upgrades all in one video, and then made standalone videos for the path, and then kind of maybe spend a little more time highlighting them, in all honesty. That said, I didn't mention Bouncer, because since there's Legendary Bouncer, we can do both paths. But not quite sure what I'll do there, but I will probably tonight at least record Hothead and Tree Rex, get those behind us, and then probably go from there. I'll see how tired I am. But nonetheless, this was Granite Crusher, again, Target exclusive here in the US. If you want to know more about him or see how he looks on the portal, etc., check out my unboxing video recorded way back when. Couple of times way after the fact when he was gone, I've seen him pop up personally on the Target.com site. I still never ever at my local store have seen him since I got the last one, essentially last 2. I was out of town shortly thereafter. I did see him, but again, it was always in small quantity, and there was almost always someone like bringing an employee telling them they were looking for Black Crusher or something that has blue on it, So really, it's one of those deals, if you didn't catch it when it first happened, I mean, assuming they don't like crank him out again here in the spring or summer or something, which very possibly they could do. It's pretty much unpredictable. I've seen a lot of people say he's phased out. I don't know if they're like employees or upper management or something or what, but it's probably one of those deals, if you really want him, you're going to have to get extremely lucky. I mean, maybe you've got like a really cruddy employee at Target that didn't stock the box or something and like hid it so he wouldn't get in trouble, and then when they get canned, maybe somebody will find it type situation. If you are looking for it, I'd skim their website. I mean, I know it's unlikely, but I mean, if you can get it for $14.99 and freight, that's the way to go. If you have to have it, and the price, you have to do eBay or Amazon seller, I mean, I guess you can do it. But again, I mean, if you get to the point where you're paying like 25 plus for I wouldn't do that to myself. If I had missed Granite Crusher, I'm not going to go shell out more than $19, and that's going to have to include freight. It's one of those things that's not going to kill me. By no means do you have to have it, but I mean, if you are a collector, if your kid's favorite is Crusher and you're really wanting to get it, I mean, don't be one of those people that spends like $80 or $200 or something. It's just, that's stupid. I'm just gonna, that's as blunt as I can make things. A smaller price, I mean, it's fairly reasonable. You really want it, or for your kids, or a gift or something, go for it. But I mean, don't set yourself back. I mean, think for $200 when Swap Force comes out, that's going to go a long way and get you a lot of new stuff, as opposed to just one figure. So I mean, like I said, if I didn't have him and I couldn't get him for 14 or $19.99, I wouldn't do it personally. But again, you be the judge. It's your money. That's just my advice and input. So like I said, if you didn't get him and you want him, you may, get lucky, find him in the store. Crazier things have happened. I know at my local Target, many times I've gone in and I've purchased Powerade that expired a year and a half ago. So that's going to vary store to store. Some, hopefully your stock's better than that, or has people that zone a little more efficiently. I've gotten Hamburger Helper that was way expired there too. Now, after those two instances, I check the dates every time. But like I said, if it happens in produce, the area that should be zoned the most frequently and with greatest care, since you don't want to sell expired food to people. Like I said, very possible a box is misplaced in the back, or two of them are strung out somewhere, or someone was holding them type deal. You never know. It could happen. So, don't give up hope. If you don't want to spend the $200, you could still get lucky. Maybe friend or somebody might have an extra one type situation. So, kind of keep that in mind. But I'll quit rambling. Obviously, with Crusher, box stock, he's not horrible. He just lacks that projectile or long range attacks. That gets addressed with his first upgrade. The tertiary attack kind of comes into play there as well. If you can't get hit when you do that, it's going to be awesome. Again, really, the paths, you're going to pick whether you want the bedrock armor or you want the better hammer attack. So I think it'll be a lot of fun to play with down both paths. And when we're doing Nightmare mode, I'll try and mix them in. Again, they just drop frames really bad for some reason, Crusher and T-Rex, but I'll play with them some. If I don't record with them a lot, I'll definitely be playing with them, in other aspects of the game I don't record. That way I can give you my real world first-hand feedback, take it from there. But I'm going to quit rambling, probably going to hit the showers, and come back, probably knock out Hothead and T-Rex, get those two guys taken care of. So, again, thanks for watching. You can follow along on Twitter. That's your best bet, particularly like now when I don't have internet. oneofwisdom.blogspot.com is the blog. That's your best source of information. You can follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+. Whatever works for you. Hopefully you have internet. I don't. But like I said, really at this point in time, just Twitter's the easiest thing to do when I don't have internet. So that said, should this crud ever happen to me again, or the people show up and they can't fix it, etc., Twitter's where I'll be updating everything. So if you have questions or anything about why I'm not doing something, check Twitter, because it's probably going to be that I don't have internet. But nonetheless, like I said, Crusher upgrades pretty well. I think it'll be pretty fun. We'll just kind of have to wait, feel it out once we've played with him. So again, thanks for watching, and we will catch you back as we upgrade Hothead.